Hi guys and welcome to my latest video. This is going to be Reseller Reality number 12 and it's going to be my roundup of how I did in the month of May 2016. Now, I'm no longer going to continue with filling out the spreadsheet that I have, and I'm kind of want to have a quick chat about that and efficiency as well. Um, One thing I've come to realize is the more efficiencies you put in, the better your life will be, especially when it comes to working for yourself. And although it's fun to individually write down each item that you sell and how much profit you've made for it because you know the exact cost of that particular item versus what you sold it for, etc., it's not really the best use of your time. Because all this information is already there. It's already in your eBay monthly sales reports that you can download on how much you've sold. All you need to do is keep track of your expenses, really, and you can do that on a monthly basis, which is more than enough to complete your tax records, etc. So that's kind of all you really need, and filling out the spreadsheet sale by sale, it's just my opinion. I don't really see the benefit. Most of the times, you're going to know what you've paid for the item. We tend to remember these things anyway, and you'll know roughly what profit you've made. So, I think I figured out that on average, I'm between a 50 and 60% profit on return level when I'm selling an item. So I can roughly work out what I've spent on that. And also, you could still use a spreadsheet like that to just work out your profit margins. So you know what you should sell it for to achieve a certain profit. I can understand its use in that sense. So if you bought it for a certain amount and you want to be like, okay, well, I want to achieve this much profit, then you can actually work out a precise selling price if you wanted to do that. But from now on in my like sales reports, I'm not really going to bother filling out the spreadsheet. I just don't necessarily think it's the best use of time. Anyway, um, without further ado, I'm going to show you guys what I actually managed to do in the month of May. Let me just switch over to the browser view. And this is like a screenshot I've taken from my PayPal account, and I've done it from 1st of May to the end of May basically. And you can see there that on eBay I took just over £2,800, which is a big improvement over my previous month. And considering it was for May, which is not meant to be the busiest of months, I'm pretty pleased with that. I mean, there's still a long way to go. So obviously that's just sales and turnover. That's not profit. Your profit, like I said, I work on around 60% profit on return. So you can roughly work out that you have to bear in mind that you have to take out your PayPal fees, your eBay fees, and your postage and everything else, obviously tax as well. So bear that in mind. But my turnover is 2,800. I tend to buy my items at good prices, as you guys have seen, so I know that the profit is there, and I'm pretty pleased that I'm having a lot more £100 plus days, which is kind of my target really. If I could do like £100 a day, I'd be pretty happy. Especially once we move up north, where the cost of living will be a lot less. I mean, we're going to be losing my wife's income, but she's obviously going to be coming on board, so hopefully that will help grow the business and increase our income in that way. But I'm pretty happy with how things are going so far. There's definitely been an improvement since I've started to list more, which is a key thing, guys. If you want to build your eBay business, you have to list more than you think than you can ever imagine. If you think you're listing enough, you're probably not. You need to list more. Um, that's my humble opinion on the matter. Um, okay, what I'm going to do now, guys, is switch over to the sales. I did like a 40 things I'd sold so far this month video already, which went up to the 24th of May. So what I'm just doing for you guys here is going through the rest of my sales that I got, or the more impressive ones out of the remainder of the month of May. So first item I want to talk about is this old vintage Bush disc cassette. I've had this thing hanging around for such a long time. It was one of those things I'd priced too high, because I knew that these sell for good money, between £200 and £300 in working order, and I think you can get over 100 in faulty condition as well. but you have to wait for the right buyer. And I got fed up. Been sat on this thing for a long time, and in the end, I didn't actually sell for 69. I actually took an offer of £40 plus 5.99, and I've been sat on it for at least what 6 months. Luckily, I just barely paid anything for it. It was part of a job lot. I think it may have cost me £1 at most. So it was still a good sale. But it kind of kicked me into the zone I'm in at the moment, which is I want to make sure that I'm not sitting on items for too long. As long as I'm happy with the profit that I'm making, that's the key. Moving on, Nintendo Game Boy Advance SP. This was a console only. I showed this in my last weekend's pickups. I think I bought this for about £2, I reckon it was something like that. £2, £3. It came in a case. Unfortunately, it didn't have the power supply, which is a bit of a shame. But I took some decent photos and I took an offer of £20 plus shipping, just again to get rid. Next item, really pleased with this one. I've actually got another one of these caps. I'm not sure if I've listed it just yet, but this is a UCAP Nestor EU International Government Aid Agency cap. So UCAP Nestor, I did a bit of research. They do a lot of aid work. They're a government aid agency, and they're based around. They do a lot of their work around the Horn of Africa. The cap itself is not good quality. It was very thin material. You can see the inside isn't exactly nicely put together. It's a thin cap, but the badge is obviously the key selling point here. And I got £20.99 plus shipping for it, so very pleased with that. Next item, a cool decorative octagonal shaped tin. It's a very small tin, only 10 centimeters by 6 centimeters. And I got it as a job lot at auction of tins, and this has gone for 9.44 plus 2.99 shipping. Next item. These came with some typewriters I bought, so they don't owe me anything. These are genuine Brother typewriter ribbons, and I sold the lot for £25. So 7 of those. I was pretty pleased with that. Next item. Okay, I bought this from a boot fair a couple of weeks ago, I think, and it's basically a DVD recorder with a hard drive and Freeview tuner. And I paid, I think, £8, and I took an offer of 75 plus the shipping, so very happy with that. Again, I could have waited out for the 100, but I was happy to let it go. Next item, Sony PSP. Came with a 2 GB memory card. It's like the standard PSP 1003 model. And this I took an offer of £36, and plus it was shipped abroad, so they paid shipping. Next item. Now this is quite a nice sale. This is a game called Amber Star on the Commodore Amiga. The chances of you coming across it are not high. I've never really seen these kinds of Amiga games out before. I got this as part of a really cool job lot at the boot fair, but so you never know. But don't expect to find this kind of game regularly. But it's good to know that they're out there, and it's called Amber Star. It's like an RPG game, and I sold it for £60, which is pretty good. Um, I got a whole job lot of Amiga stuff and the Amiga for about £30. So this one game alone is done pretty well for me. Next item. Now this is an interesting one. I got this patch. I got a bunch of baseball caps, and there was this little patch inside, and it says Sir Winston Churchill and Malcolm Miller on it. I don't really know a great deal about this stuff, so I just described it as what it was, a patch, and I got an offer of a fiver, and it went to a nice guy who sailed on the ship in 1978, he said, and so I was more than happy to just offer him. He offered me a fiver for it, and I was more than happy to let it go for a fiver because it cost me nothing, and won't take any time to ship. So only a £5 sale, but still an interesting one. Next item, I picked this up at the boot fair again a week or 2 weeks ago. I think it was 2 weeks ago, and I paid £5 for this. This is a Sony MDS mini disc deck, MDS SP55. Now, this deck is part of a specific mini disc hi-fi system, and it needs a specific system cable to function. It won't work with any random system. It doesn't power up. It doesn't have like a normal power socket. In fact, I can just show you what I mean by that. If you look at the pictures of the back, you can see that it's just got a couple of digital audio inputs, one output, and there's a system control port. Now that's what gives this deck its power. to function. So hopefully the buyer knows this, because this has gone abroad to the GSP shipping program, and it went for £25 plus shipping for £5.99. So from £5 to 25 plus the £5.99 shipping, which is pretty cool. Next item, I paid I think 50p, or is it a pound, for this DVD. It's called The First World War and a historical insight. That bothers me. I would have not put Anne. I was always taught at school that you only use like Anne with when it's in front of a letter beginning with a vowel. I could be wrong with that, but that doesn't sit right with me. I would have thought it would just be a historical insight, but they've used Anne. So it'd be interesting to see your comments about that. But I've always been taught that Anne, you only use Anne in front of a letter with a vowel. I could be completely wrong, but that's how I remember it. But anyway, DVD sold for 12 quid, so good sale there. It was new and sealed, by the way. Next item, this is a lovely sale for me. I picked this up for a tenner, and I took an offer of £130 plus the £5.99 shipping. It's a Panasonic DVD recorder combi. Difference is it's got like a Freeview tuner in it, and it's HDMI, so it's a pretty nice little machine there, and that went for good money. Next item, another baseball cap. This is a McLaren baseball cap. I picked this up for £2 at the boot fair, and you can see it's new and with tags, and it still even had the card kind of protector inside there. So new cap, and it went from for £20 plus £2.99 shipping. So very happy with that sale as well. Getting to the end yet. Where this is a Pioneer tuner. I've been sat on this thing for absolutely ages. I got it, I think, as part of a bunch of stuff I bought. So again, probably doesn't owe me more than a fiver. Good working order. However, it had damage to the casing, so the top panel was very flimsy. And I did mention that obviously to the support structure or something for the casing was damaged, and it went for £18 plus £5.99 shipping. And a final sale I want to talk about is this Levi's bootcut 507 jeans, sold for I didn't take 28.34. I took an offer of £23. I'm still waiting payment, so I'm not sure if that's fully counts as a sale, but they've bought them at £23. Whether they pay for them or not is a different matter, as we all know. So overall, pretty pleased with how the sales have gone. I'm hoping, obviously, that we're just going to keep seeing improvements as I keep getting more and more listings up. I am around the 500 listing mark at the moment, and obviously with all these boot fair buys, I'll be looking to keep on listing and keep powering on. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you've got any comments and questions, leave them in the comment section below, and please give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, or if you found it useful. It's always much appreciated, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.